What's going on, guys? Gomes here back again on another MLB The Show 19 Diamond Dynasty video. Today I want to talk about a little bit more about the Honus Wagner collection, the collection master within MLB The Show 19, and whether or not it is really worth it for you guys to go and try to get this card. Now, first I do want to say I did have the luxury and being able to use this card. Well, maybe not luxury is the word, because it cost me an arm, a leg, and 115,000 stubs in order to get gameplay with him. That's going to be in the top right hand corner. Really would appreciate if you guys want to check that out after this video, of course. But I did get to use him, so I can speak a little bit about his stance and really what he is about. But of course, you guys know he is the new collection master for the Pirates, a brand new legend in the game. We knew he was kind of going to be in here. There's kind of a leak earlier on in the year, so it really wasn't a surprise that we saw him, but how to get him and how rare he is was a bit of a surprise in my opinion. I do like that they went with the original card art and everything. These are my stats with him. I went 2 for 6 with the home run. What I can say, I still think his stance is all right. It's not great. It's not bad. It's okay. It is, you know, a pretty regular swing. There's nothing crazy. There's no Joe Morgan elbow. There's no Ty Cobb or anything like that. Like you see with some of those older players, it's a pretty regular stance, kind of Rogers Hornsby-esque, I would say, a little bit, at least in my opinion. It's a decent swing. Otherwise, I did notice he is diamond defensively, 91 fielding, but he didn't get the best animations from when I was using him. He's fast as almighty hell, though. He is kind of like Ty Cobb as a shortstop, except he has arm, unlike Ty Cobb. That's really what I could say about him gameplay-wise. But getting on to how you get him, you have to collect so much stuff, and is it really worth it? You know, I have really 21. I don't even have half the rookie cards right now, and really what is going to break the bank the most, in my opinion, is the signature cards. I currently have 11 of them, and you need to collect 60. There are obviously 60 cards here. I don't know whether or not there's 60 that you can buy on the market. I'm not completely sure about that. I think there are, because there is more than 4 pages of signature cards at this point in this game, but it's going to cost you a lot of stubs. It's going to cost you a very, very good amount in order to do it. And the thing, in my opinion, you can't sell this card, so that is really something to think about. You're collecting all of these cards for a card that you cannot sell, and this card is good overall. He's probably the best shortstop we're gonna see all year round, but for everything that you have to collect for him, I just don't know if it's worth it, because you're locking in all of this, and these cards, even like the postseason cards, you're going to have to start collecting diamonds, because that's just for 8, 12. You're gonna have to, you know, get some of these 90 plus diamonds. There is something else to think about, that a lot of these cards will be NAT already. You know, you're going to have to grind team affinities and other stuff, which isn't relatively that hard to get to 50 stars. It's about 10,000 stubs and, you know, pretty much 2 hours of playing the computer in order to get these team affinities done, which is not really that bad, and you're going to get 3 flashback cards in order to make progress towards it. But I just personally, I don't think it's necessarily worth it. You're going to have to lock in all of that for a good shortstop. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, he's a 5-tool player. He can play pretty much everywhere. Almost maxed out speed and stealing, diamond defense, 90 arm strength, pretty much maxed out contact, 125 vision, 90 power both ways, and 125 clutch, maxed out bunting if you're into that. So it's a great card, but I don't think it's worth it, just because I think, at least not right now, I don't think it's worth it right now for all the stubs that you're going to have to put in for all the signature cards alone, because if you don't have all the team affinities done already, that's a lot of grinding that you're going to have to do, and all the stubs as well. I don't think it's necessarily worth it right now. However, I do think it wouldn't be a bad idea to start nickel and diming it. So what I mean by that is, if, for example, for ranked seasons, once you get to this pennant race pack, don't sell who you get. You know, if you pick Jake McGee or Matt Harvey, don't sell them. You know, start collecting cards like that, and not necessarily spending stubs in order to do it, but you're just obtaining cards through time and not selling them. So usually when you would go into the 5th inning program or any of the inning programs and you get the 100-star pack and it's like, okay, cool, free 5K stubs, maybe don't take it. Maybe start collecting cards, you know, start grinding the team affinities more. I've always mentioned for like the inning programs, if you guys have not gotten to 300 stars yet, it is a very good idea to play versus computer games. You don't have to win, you can just bunt and purposely get out ticked like 20 minutes. You get 2 program stars and you make progress towards these team affinities because you don't have to win for either of these. So I think that's something really good to do. Don't necessarily go out of your way just grinding like almighty hell to get it. I think over time, just keep making progress. And once we keep getting new cards, because I think at some point, they're probably just going to drop an entire, you know, forklift, an entire truckload full of like gold cards and low diamonds into, you know, regular packs. At least that's what I'm thinking they're going to do at some point. You know, once we maybe get to the postseason, they'll release a lot of postseason cards. I would hope that they would do that because, you know, right now there's not that many like postseason cards, for example, so there's not that many that you can really collect, and it really holds, it really puts the price on these cards up a lot. Like even Jimmy Fox, it might not be much, but he did go up a decent amount since that came out. So that's really my opinion. I think that you should be starting to make progress with it, but don't go out of your way because cards are definitely increased in price because of this, because there are people scrambling to do it. So I think you should make progress in time, but don't necessarily go all out in order to do it. My boy Serenity on Twitter posted a meme that is perfectly emphasizes this. It's the Thanos, what did it cost? Everything in order to get Honus Wagner. No matter where you are, for me, example, it's going to cost millions of stubs for me to get this Honus Wagner card, and it's just not worth it. You know, I think it's more of a flex more than anything, to be honest with you. Great shortstop, but it's honestly a bit more of just like, hey, look, I have Honus Wagner. What do you got? In that kind of way, because it is not a 2 to 3 million stub card that you can't sell. It is not. I do not think so in any of the stretch of imagination, but if it goes, you know, a little cheaper as time goes on, it could be worth it then. But I do quickly want to talk about one other thing, and that's whether or not it's right that this card should be this rare, because this is something I've heard a lot and I kind of wanted to give my opinion on it. So of course you guys probably know, even if you don't collect baseball cards, this is the rarest baseball card of all time. It goes for millions of dollars, and it goes for millions of stubs on MLB The Show, so it's kind of fitting that way. But should it be this rare though, is the thing. This is definitely the most rare card that we've ever seen in Dynasty. Even more rare than Pepe Major Laser that we saw back in MLB The Show 17. This is quite a bit more rare. I think there's probably maybe 10 of these actually collected. And that's just those people like Trev Teeps, if you guys know him, Twitch streamer. He has 5 million plus stubs, and he has almost every card, or he did have every card that you go buy on the market in the game. So I don't necessarily think it should be this rare. I don't think so. I think it could have been a little less rare, even if it's just like going 10 down on each one. Collect 40, collect 50, collect 70, collect 50, something like that. I'm glad that they didn't make it something easy to achieve. Like, this is not the kind of card that should just be given out in something like a storyline moments like the Griffey where everybody can get it. I don't think that's how it should be, but to spend 3 million stubs on a card that you can't sell, and that's the kicker. If you don't like this card, you are shit out of luck because you just spent 3 million stubs. Yes, you still get the cards that you collected. You're not exchanging them, but those are, you know, stubs that you're basically tossing. You know, they are locked into your collection at this point for, you know, this Honus Wagner, which, you know, we still haven't seen Barry Larkin, for example. That's another shortstop that could definitely rival this card once he does come out. I think there's a couple other shorts, or at least like one other shortstop that I'm probably not remembering right now that is going to be coming out in the game, but the bottom line, I don't think it's necessarily worth it right now, and I think it should have been a little bit more attainable. I'm glad that it's rare. I'm glad that it's not easy to get, but this is a little overkill in my opinion. We didn't need a 3 million stub card to get Honus Wagner, because at that point, you might as well not even see it because it is going to be so rare. I imagine really the only people you're going to see with this card are probably those in World Series division up in the upper echelon of tiers. I would assume. I don't think this is the kind of card that you're going to see people down in like the 500 rating, the 600 rating, those kind of people have. At least I don't think so. Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe those are the extreme market grinders, but I don't know. Like I said, I would start making progress, you know, once you get those flashbacks coming up. If you pull like a rookie card in a pack, don't sell it. Just hold on to it. Even as me, someone who usually sells off whatever I get in a pack, you know, now I probably won't do that. So let's just say right here, if I did get a flashback card, which obviously I didn't, that would have been pretty dope, but you know, I'd hold on to it and not sell it, because I think it will be good progress overall, and eventually you're gonna get there. I think eventually this card is gonna be somewhat obtainable, but that's gonna be, you know, once this game is kind of died off. That's my opinion. Let me know down below in the comment section if you guys plan on going after this Honus Wagner or not, and let me know how close and how many stubs approximately you think it would even take you to get this card, because like I said, even me, who I think I have a decent amount of collections, granted my stubs are down because the last video I just made, but yeah, I'm not even close. I'm millions of stubs off. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like down below. Hope you guys have a great day. So I guess I'm sorry.
Love is love and hate is hate. To die is an awesome adventure and I can hardly wait. Earth is a prison, I need a great escape. You know I'm in my zone when I'm up in outer space. You know I'm in my zone when I'm up in outer space. You know I'm in my zone when I'm up in outer space. You know I'm in my zone. You know I'm in my zone. I took a bite of the glory.